Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Davey's Analysis, and in this video we're going to VOD review Mr. Savage and Vidil in FNCS semifinals. They had a win with 6 kills, and I really want you guys to understand how they rotate, how they play endgame, how they go for a height, and how they win. I think there's a lot to learn from this video, and I can't wait to show you guys. Sorry I haven't been posting in an extremely long time. I had a semester of college that I really needed to focus on. I was working a lot and doing a lot socially, so I really just didn't have time to make YouTube videos. But now that it is the summer, I am on break for school until the fall semester, so I'm going to be dropping some videos to help you guys improve. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, send this to your duos, and use code Davey in the Fortnite item shop. Really appreciate it, and let's get right into it, guys. Alright, this is the VOD I wanted to show you guys. It's Mr. Savage and Vidil in FNCS semifinals. They had a 6 kill win, and I think there's a lot to learn from this VOD review, so let's get right into it. So, obviously, the zones are different now. There's no more, like, previous zones, like you had half and half, like on 5th zone. But, take a look at the zone. They pull a max zone here, and the zone is all Storm. And there's only one team right now on the edge. So in this meta with the new zones, you're going to have less people holding you than you did before. But there's still going to be teams that are holding you, like this one. They're probably going to rotate a little bit later so they can hold people, get surge, etc. So what I think you should do in this meta with the zones is make sure you're rotating when everyone else is rotating and distracted. That is extremely important. You also don't want to be on edge with congestion. That's also another important factor. So let's just watch this beautiful rotate from Mr. Savage. So right now, Mr. Savage has the blue katana, and Vidil has the purple. So he does communicate to Vidil that he has a blue one. So he only has 2 charges, which is really important. Look at the time here on when he decides to rotate. So he sees Axe Force and Vortexers rotating. He knows no one else can hold him, so he rotates instantly after that team goes. Extremely smart, no time wasted, and he's not on the congestion edge with everyone else. But watch this. This is really important right here as well. So he sneaks in these old builds right here where they previously were, and then he sees the team not rotating in any deeper. He sees that the team stopped and chose not to continue to rotate. So he stops. That's extremely important because if he were to keep going, he would die. Axe Force would shoot him, teams would hold him, it would be a mess. So what does he do? He sits here, staggers, and waits for the zone to start pulling so everyone else is focused on their own rotate as well, so he will not get shot up and killed. Everyone else is rotating. He sees that the team in front of him is no longer staring at him and focused on him, then he decides to rotate. Let me go back to him. See? They start to rotate, then he goes. He uses the 2 katana. I don't like what he does right here. He tries like going for a shot or something. I think you just box up. I don't even think you do that. I don't even think you risk it. But he does that pretty much right after, which is good. I don't like that because someone else could be shooting him while he's shooting that guy, if that makes sense. Just box up, bro. Don't risk it. Look at his loot. He's stacked. Same with Vidil. They're looking great. And now that they're in, they're holding kids. And Vidil is going to get a kill here. But I just think that was a beautiful rotate and there was a lot to learn from. I think it was perfect pretty much. Now Vidil is going to play for kills, holding the kids. You don't want to be rotating in late like those kids, but I'm guessing they're shambles. You really want to follow what Mr. Savage did and just, when you have the opportunity to rotate as early as possible, but don't overdo it. If a team's stopping in front of you, you stop behind them potentially. It's situational, but in this case, this is what I am explaining to you. Mr. Savage, what he did in his case was extremely smart. Anyways, I'm rambling about that a little bit too much. They notice that the zone pulls back. They have whites. They see loot from one of the bodies that they killed, so they tarp to it. I think that's extremely smart. He does get a little close to dying, but I think it was worth it. Because you want to do that before someone else does that. And it's a great mat refresh for them. They did need it. He did burn a good amount of mats. Really good heads up play. And now they have Mythic Havocs, so that's really good as well. I really like how Mr. Savage elevates here. He knows he's going to play his katana. He knows how good their mats are, so he's going to play on a high layer. I really like that. You have really good mats. You have a katana. I think it's good playing the super high layer in this case. So there isn't really too much to see. They're just going to keep using their katana and abusing it on a high layer. Obviously, it's going to be extremely hard to get a refresh up here, but they don't need it. Their mats are really good. They could pretty much continue to do this. And they're going to play for height later on when the time is right. They're going to try their best to get a refresh up here. It's going to be difficult, but they're just going to continue to katana rotate and conserve mats as much as possible. So now I'm just going to fast forward a bit. There's not too much to see, but I really do like how they look for refreshes together at all times. You're not going to see one trying to get a refresh by himself. Really important, pretty basic. And Mr. Savage right now is scouting height, and he has been pretty much a lot throughout this endgame, looking for the right opportunity to take it. He's going to continue to stay on a high layer. They're going to go after this solo, but he's going to drop layers. Look for a kill. I'm pretty sure Mr. Savage is going to look for height soon. Tarps out. Looking for a kill under him. It's going to be very difficult to get one when you're on this high of a layer. But their mats were so good going into this endgame with the katanas. It's really okay for them to be this high. Now you can see them looking for height. They shoot out height. It is important to be extremely high up in this meta with the ODM gear and the katanas. Mr. Savage is going to take a big hit. I actually want to see Vidil get the first kill here. So in this instance, their mats are extremely low. And I feel like if they were to drop down, try to jump in a kid's box, they'll get beamed by height and then get 5th or 6th place, or even worse potentially. But going for height here is the big ball play that can get them the win that they want. So I think that is the best play they can do. Also, they know height's been there for so long, they are shambles on mats. So Mr. Savage is going to attempt to chop them out. He is successful. Vidil is going to edit one down. He was not ready for it and get the kill. Mr. Savage is going to take a right hand peek, almost max him for all of his health, and then boom. I thought that was extremely strategic for one of them to go for the chop and the other one to get the pump ready for the big shot so they can win that 2v2. And now right after they killed him with no hesitation, Vidil is dropping whites. For some reason, he's not dropping the slurps. I think that is a misplay. And then he dies with them, which I think is a misplay. Definitely should have gave them the Savage. But Savage got lucky and found some in Storm, and then they win the game. So, a lot to learn from. I hope you learned something from this video. They are so coordinated, and they use their time so wisely. It's very important that when you're in endgame that you use your time wisely with what you're doing, and everything you're doing makes sense. They have a lot of mats going into this endgame. It makes sense to be second height. They don't need a refresh. They're looking for one still together, but they don't need one. And then they go for height to get their win condition, win the game, and it's so synchronized. So it's really important to make sure in scrims you're practicing to be synchronized in endgame so that when it comes to the real deal, you're ready just like they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one.